please stay. We still have 3 more presenters, mostly very short presentations. What we're going to present today are 3 interns working in tech startups. And they belong to very special programs. So the first 2 interns I'm going to present belongs to a program called Sage Core. It's a program from the United States that brings students from top US colleges to tech startups around the world. They have chapters in Hong Kong, in Buenos Aires, and in Israel. And Rob is doing a 3+2 program in Dartmouth and Middlebury, and Yiping is doing, has graduated from the final year of the University of Pennsylvania. And they work in a company called Makible, which is presenting manufacturing innovations. I'll let them introduce more about what they're doing and their stories. Okay?
All right, well, thank you for the introduction. As you mentioned, my name is Rob. So my journey to Hong Kong and to Sage Core begins back in January. I was in my first year of engineering studies at Dartmouth College, and I was looking for summer opportunities. Now, after researching with career services and talking to my peers, it seemed like the majority of the programs were either in New York City, more corporate environments, or in San Francisco, more established experiences, and I wasn't sure if I was tailored for either of them. In some way, I managed to bump into a student who did the Sage Core program last year, and he told me about it. And I quickly realized that if I were to be doing the program, I would not only be in a foreign country, but also in a growing sector, which is the startup community here, but also working for Makible, which is in manufacturing innovation. With this combination, I knew it would be extremely challenging, but I also knew that this would be a very unique opportunity, something that I probably wouldn't have access to in the foreseeable future. So after really considering this, I decided to take a leap of faith and come out to Hong Kong. And so that's my journey here, and here's Yiping.
Hi guys, I'm Yiping. I just graduated from Penn in May. There you go. So this is our school mascot. Very cute little thing. Nobody knows what it is, but yeah.
Quicker.
Exactly. You get it? So yeah, I studied electrical and mechanical engineering for undergrad, and then I've always been really interested in entrepreneurship. What I found the most fascinating about the Sage Core program was that it throws you out in a country where you don't know anyone and you don't even speak the language, which forces you to step out of your comfort zone where life really starts. Also, as an engineering student at Penn, we learned about different technologies to understand why certain devices or machines work in certain ways. But over time, I found myself asking not only how things work, but also how things are made. But unfortunately, our undergraduate program was more engineering oriented, and I didn't get enough exposure to manufacturing. So when I was offered the opportunity to work with Makible, I thought it would be a great fit for me. And the very first thing I learned about the manufacturing industry is that the norms haven't changed over the past century. So here you can see a picture. If you look at a picture of a factory from World War II, and it's that of a modern factory, you can definitely see the resemblance. And as a matter of fact, many manufacturing techniques have existed for a long time and haven't been upgraded. For example, casting is a 6,000-year-old process, which involves pouring liquid into a pre-made mold and waiting for it to solidify to make solid object. It was done in the same way 6,000 years ago, and today it's still pretty much the same process. So, similar techniques include injection molding, blow molding, metal forming, etc. There are so many. They haven't been upgraded for a long time.
So that kind of gives you an essence of large-scale mass production. And on the other side of things, you have prototyping. And I'm sure you've all heard or read an article in the last little while about 3D printing. And this is actually a 3D printer that is developed at Makible. But from a production standpoint, 3D printing really is limited at this point in time. Right now, it's just simply too slow. If you wanted to print off something, say like a cup, it could take anywhere from 1 hour to 1 day. And from a production standpoint, that's just simply too long. And to kind of illustrate this point, Yiping actually approached us a few weeks ago, and she said she wanted to make customized name tags for the people involved in the company. So around numbers from maybe 20 to 40 or something like that. But for every every manufacturer that she spoke to, she kept getting a quote that she needed to purchase around 500 units, and that was simply too many. She didn't know what to do. So on the other side of things, she realized that 3D printing was just too slow. She looked at the numbers, she looked at the figures, and all the properties that were out there, and it just didn't make sense. And that's where we come in.
That's where we come in. I think that picture captured the best of all. I really took it.
That's the other right.
Yeah, the same problem exists for a lot of small companies like Yiping, Bracken. So over the summer, we've been working with John Buford, great guy sitting right there. Yeah. So yeah, we've been working with John to redesign the manufacturing process and increase the flexibility of existing techniques to make the system more efficient, so that people like Yiping can have their name tags done at a reasonable cost. So ultimately, our goal is to identify the middle ground between rapid prototyping and mass production and bridge the gap.
So kind of coming full circle to our experience here in Hong Kong, we've definitely had a lot of takeaways. For example, at Dartmouth, there's many courses that are very project-based, and it's similar in a lot of aspects to what we've been doing here, which is, which I'd love to tell you more about, but however, we're in the middle of the stages of development, and we're not at a point to really explain all the details where we're at. But back to my point on the takeaways, all of the coursework is very project-based, but at the end of the day, there's always a curriculum and a criteria that students end up focusing on more than anything else. And here it's much more binary. You either produce something meaningful or you don't. And learning that kind of reality has been pretty valuable moving forward. And another takeaway that I've had is just kind of coming to a foreign country and working in a growing sector is really pushing me out of my norms and in a different environment. And I feel a lot more confident moving forward to many different engineering ventures down the road. In the fall, we're going back to school where I have 2 more years left until I'm finished, and I know that I now have a lot more confidence moving forward in the other projects that I do.
Yeah, so in my case, I'm going to Israel for entrepreneurship program. I know, interesting time to go. But before the summer, I was a little worried because, obviously I don't speak Hebrew. But I feel like this internship has been a great opportunity for me to build the independence and confidence I need to be an entrepreneur. But right now, I'm still a little worried, but obviously for different reasons. Yeah. So another thing I've learned, or like another shift in my perspective, has been what innovation is really about. So I used to think that innovation is just building a new piece of technology that the world has never seen before. But after this internship, I realized more often it's about embracing the old system and improving it. So I feel like Rob and I have like slightly different takeaways, but what we have in common is that we both had a great time here. I think it's mainly because like in Hong Kong, it's a very different environment for both of us, both culture-wise and experience-wise. So yeah, it's been a phenomenal 2 months. Met some great people along the way, right? Yeah, so hopefully we'll come back and then see you all again. Thanks for being here and listening to our presentation.
Thank you, Rob, for the wonderful presentation. I know you guys have put a lot of effort into this short 6-minute presentation. Last but not least, we have one final presenter, Huang from CocoonHK. He's working with the CocoonHK program, and I'll let him introduce